My fork hovers halfway to my mouth, heavy with sweet potato casserole, when my father's voice slices through the hum of Thanksgiving dinner. You're nothing but a leech. It's time for you to leave this house. Silence falls, so complete, I hear the antique clock I paid to repair ticking from the living room. The same clock that still chimes because of me. Denise keeps her eyes down, rearranging green beans she'll never eat. Tessa stares at her half-empty glass of water, wide-eyed. Just minutes ago, I'd proudly shared news of my promotion, moments after basting the turkey, whipping potatoes, and baking pies while they lounged in front of the game. Yet now, as steam rises from the food I prepared, I'm declared unwelcome in the very home I've been holding together. My name is on the electric bill, the water, the groceries, the insurance that covered Mom's last appointment. When she lost her job 3 months ago and Frank's part-time wages couldn't stretch, I stepped in. Every account transferred to me. Every bill became mine, and with each one my father grew quieter, more resentful. I'd overheard him just weeks earlier, venting to Mr. Simmons through the kitchen window. It's not right, a man losing control of his own household. She acts like she owns the place now. I hadn't realized then he meant me. Now his jaw tightens, waiting for me to cry. Instead, I keep eating the sweet potato ash in my mouth. Did you hear what I said? You need to be out by the weekend. My hands tremble, but not from fear. Something deeper shifts inside me. I set my fork down, place my napkin on the table, and meet his glare. I understand perfectly. The calm words hang in the silence. Even Mom doesn't defend me. She only asks softly, "You'll still pay the medical insurance this month, right?" I answer evenly, "Of course, I'll take care of it before I go." I clear my plate, rinse it, glance at my car in the driveway, the only thing in my name not tied to this house. Tessa brushes my wrist when she sets her glass beside me. A flicker of solidarity, the only support I've felt in months. At 1:18 a.m., sleepless and hollow, I fold sweaters into a suitcase. Digging through documents to pack, I find bank statements addressed to Frank, an account swelling each month as I drained my savings. 4,000 in July, 5 in August, nearly 7 by now. And notes in his handwriting, boat down payment. Delivery after Thanksgiving. A fishing boat. While I paid for insurance and groceries, he saved for leisure. My breath shakes as I find a notepad. November bills due. My name beside question marks. They waited for me to cover everything, then planned my exile. Tessa slips into my room, eyes wide at the packed boxes. "You're really leaving?" "Dad didn't give me much choice." She hesitates, then whispers, "Mom said they need your room for storage since Dad's buying that boat." The words hit like a punch. "You knew?" Her eyes brim. "I was scared. Dad said anyone who warned you would be next." Her fear softens my anger. She's still a child in the same trap. Then her voice drops. "Those doctor visits Mom's been having? Last week she came home with swollen lips, said no straws for 2 days. It wasn't a checkup. It was fillers." My stomach turns. I've been eating ramen to stretch my budget while she gets cosmetic work on my insurance. I open my banking app, $7.63 left. 3 months ago, I had over 9 grand. If I'd stayed, I'd have nothing left. Tessa adds, "Dad said if you take anything, he'll report you for theft. Even the stuff you bought." I glance at the desk, the bed, the fridge, all mine, yet already claimed. I pull out a shoebox stuffed with receipts, each dated, attached to statements. Proof I wasn't imagining any of it. Tessa watches silently before whispering, "What would you do in my place? Choose peace in the only home you know, or stand up for what's right?" I have no answer. 3 days later, at lunch break from my job, Aunt Phyllis scolds me over the phone. "Blair, I never thought you'd abandon your parents. Did Dad mention he kicked me out?"
"He said you left them high and dry."
"They're organizing a family meeting about your behavior." I hang up before she can continue. That evening, I sink onto Drew's pull-out couch, my life reduced to boxes and suitcases. Texts from cousins buzz in, accusing me of breaking Mom's heart. I stop reading them. When Drew comes home from the hospital, she asks, "Operation Financial Freedom. Going well?" Almost done, I say, surrounded by notebooks of account numbers. I've canceled their utilities, removed myself from their cell phone plan, unlinked my name from their internet. Drew nods.
Good.
Let them deal with their own mess. But I'm left with little, barely enough for a deposit on an apartment. Later, Max barges in with his golden retriever, Baxter, who drops a soggy ball in my lap. Blair needs this more than I do, Max jokes. When I laugh, the sound startles me. Days pass and job listings fill my laptop screen. Then Mom's name flashes. I answer. What have you done? She snaps. The power's out, the internet's gone, and my insurance was declined. I breathe slowly. I stopped paying for things that aren't my responsibility. You can't leave us like this, she pleads. We're your family. Family doesn't call each other leeches at Thanksgiving, I say, and end the call. Later, Drew leans over as I reset passwords. She points out suspicious login attempts. Fraud alerts, just to be safe. The care in her tone stings by contrast. By morning, I open a new account at a credit union and transfer everything. A text from Tessa pings. Mom's asking for your banking info. Don't trust her. Then my phone explodes with calls, emails, fraud alerts, password reset attempts on my bank account for my parents' home. The bank confirms 3 attempts in 24 hours. They tighten my security. Piece by piece, I build a wall between us. But protection doesn't quiet the rage. That night, a pounding rattles Drew's door.
Blair.
My father's voice bellows. Open this door. Through the peephole, I see his flushed, furious face. Neighbors peer out. Mrs. Perkins calls security. He kicks the door, splintering wood. I whisper to 911, my hands shaking. Security arrives, ordering him back. Police sirens wail. Minutes later, I watch him led away in cuffs, shouting that I'm the one destroying the family. Officer Rodriguez takes my statement calmly, then asks, would you like to press charges? Yes, I say, and I'd like to file for a restraining order. That night, Drew assures me Max will set up security cameras. Then a text from Tessa lands. Mom pawned your laptop and camera. Got $300. My chest burns. Officer Williams takes my report, promising recovery. For once, the system is on my side. Calls from relatives shift. Aunt Sarah apologizes, saying neighbors spread the truth of Dad's outburst. At Drew's, we mount a security camera above the door when another text comes from Mom. I had to pawn your things to cover the electric bill you left us with. You owe me $300 plus interest. I show Drew, who shakes her head. The delusion is almost impressive. I save it as evidence, fury cooling into resolve. This time, I'm the one watching. 3 days later, my phone rings again, my mother's voice trembling as she offers what she calls a compromise. Drop the theft report, and you can come back home. Your room is still as you left it. She clears her throat, rehearsed words dripping with false warmth, before lowering her voice to a threat cloaked as concern. Frank, and I think you're having a breakdown. That's something people would understand better than the story you're telling. Drop the charges, or be branded unstable. I let the silence stretch before answering evenly. I have copies of every bill, every transfer, every text about your procedures disguised as medical needs. Would you like me to present all that as evidence? The line goes quiet. The next morning, Officer Williams escorts me to the house, so I can collect the rest of my belongings. Neighbors peer from behind curtains, their whispers already shaping narratives. Inside, the walls feel smaller than I remembered. Mom hovers in the doorway, insisting the furniture is theirs. I pull out receipts for everything. The refrigerator, the desk, even Tessa's laptop. Officer Williams flips through them, eyes widening. These show your daughter supported this household almost entirely, she says, and my mother retreats without a word. Box by box, I load my car. Each item reclaimed proof of the life I carried alone. Then Frank arrives, sliding into my spare car with a smug grin, keys jingling in his hand. We need to discuss what you owe us before you take this too. I hold up the title and registration, both in my name. Officer Williams steps forward, firm. Sir, hand over the keys. His shoulders slump as the keys drop into her palm. For the first time I see him small, deflated. Come near me or my property again, I tell him calmly, and I'll file for a restraining order. I drive away, neighbors watching openly now, witnesses to the collapse of the family facade. On the porch, Tessa lingers, caught between two worlds, her hand lifting in a tentative wave. My phone buzzes a block later. They're blaming me now. What do I do? The words hover like a weight. I press the gas and leave the question unanswered. Months pass. Sunlight warms the hardwood of my small apartment, bills neatly stacked in my name, each manageable, each mine. My savings grows steadily, my emergency fund rebuilding after the drain. The freedom to paint a wall teal, without permission, feels monumental. A year later, my table is smaller but steady, set for Thanksgiving again. Tessa stands uncertain by the counter, older somehow, the shadow of fear replaced by flickers of confidence. Your company is contribution enough, I tell her, so different from the tally of worth I once kept. Drew raises a glass to found family and boundaries worth keeping. We echo the toast, laughter filling my space with a warmth my parents' house never held. Later, helping Tessa sort through scholarship applications, she tells me our parents lost the house. Dad blames the bank, the economy, anyone but himself. They're staying with Uncle Rick, already overstaying their welcome. She taps her pen nervously. They still blame you. But they were always headed here, she admits. Your money just delayed it. On my shelf sit 5 unopened letters from them. I've never torn them open, though sometimes I wonder. Setting boundaries doesn't erase the ache of what-ifs. Tessa looks up at me, waiting for guidance. As I highlight a section on her housing application, I think about the question that has followed me since that night. What do you do when those who should have protected you want back in after you've finally found peace without them? The answer lingers unspoken as I guide my sister toward the independence I fought so hard to claim.